some good times knocking upon your front door. It's the Richard Wilmore Show.
Ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Richard Wilmore.
So I think that every state needs a superhero.
I agree.
And thankfully, I found the one in Texas. So we're going to show you a clip of Wolfsbane right now. Take a look.
I used to be an ordinary Texan until one night something strange happened.
It took us, I think, 9 hours to come up with a 2-minute
Trailer? Yeah.
And oh, that was a beating.
Yeah, it's hard.
Especially in the suit part. It's having to go through the fight scenes and everything, because it's pretty uncomfortable. And and then having to be slammed against the wall a few times, that was. Yeah, and then it's like, man, just for 2 minutes. But we are looking forward to shooting the full thing this year.
Do you have a schedule for that yet?
We don't. We haven't actually sat down and talked about it, but I know that after I get the good vibes and everything, the attention it's gotten so far, there's no way we cannot do it. And then we had a comment from El Rey Network wanting us to submit our work. So that's up in the air right now to submit it to them, and which was really, that's always encouraging when they tell you great job on your trailer coming from them, and along with everyone else. And when the book actually before the book released, the Caller Times had done a story on me in Corpus. Right, this was in September of 2016. And their story actually made it over to to Peter Sullivan, the director, CEO, and producer with Arrow Entertainment out of Woodland Hills, California. And he emailed me on the 23rd of November.
Not that it's stuck in your head.
Yeah, it did, because it was on my daughter's birthday.
Oh.
We were we'd gone by the house to get something to head to the restaurant, and I was going through my emails when I didn't, Lord knows I didn't know who Peter Sullivan is. Never heard of him. And he sends me his credentials and everything, and I'm like, well, it's fake. Somebody's messing with me, right? And no, got to email him, and then the next thing you know, he's we were sent a few texts to each other. We just stayed in touch. In fact, just a few months ago, he sent me a photo of him at his desk holding my book, and but he didn't say a word. It was just him holding my book, and then I met the wonderful people here from San Antonio. No Sleep Films with Isaac Rodriguez and Cynthia Berg. Isaac's the director, Cynthia's the producer, and we did it. We decided to do a teaser trailer, see what kind of response it would get, and it's been really great. And we know that if we sit down and just get it done, even if it's a low budget film, that we can really push out a great movie.
Is the script written yet? Or?
We're going to go straight off my two. I got two writings in my that I've done. Part 2 of my comic book actually should be releasing now. If I don't know if I'm hoping it'll be printed and be able to release by this month, by the end of this month. And they're about done with it. And I've got it all scripted, and it's the storyline to cover the first and the sequel and the prequel.
Well, we're ready.
I'm ready.
Do this. We have cameras. We'll go out today and do it. It's fine.
That's what I'm talking about.
We'll get that done before tonight.
That's right.
So what you might not know is that it isn't just a movie. This is actually based off your comic books, correct? It's
Yes.
something you created.
Yes, and actually before I wrote the comic book, I was dressing as the character attending Renaissance Festival.
I was reading about that.
Yes.
How did you come up with him then?
Oh gosh.
How'd that happen?
If you would have seen me before I came up with the final edition of the character.
Is this why your wife dresses you now?
Yes. Yes.
You were going
yes.
out to Target and that
because
outfit?
yes, it was I was a total mess at my first Renaissance Festival. I knew what I wanted. I just didn't realize how to get there, and I think by the second Renaissance I was pretty close. And for sure by the third one we had nailed it pretty much. And then lo and behold, when I thought I was like, yes, I got this, my son says, Dad, you ought to go to a Comic-Con. And I was like, in all truth, I had no idea really what happened at a Comic-Con or what was going on. And he actually talked me into it and bought the tickets. And we attended the first con, because I was like, well, I asked him, what's going on? Well, everybody dresses as their character, this, and that they like, that they love, and I was like, well, I don't have any. He goes, no, go introduce your character.
Wow, what a brilliant idea.
And, yeah, and I was like, well, I don't know about that. People are going to ask me, who are you? They're not going to know who I am, and they didn't. They did, but they thought the suit was really cool. And so trying to explain to somebody that you're just your own character that you created, they're like, oh. Until it was our second con when Vern Troyer saw me, and I was in full gear. This was in Victoria, Texas. In fact, I'm a guest at their con again here just in a couple of weeks. And we're walking, we're just attending, went there, I thought it'd be fun. I forgot, I don't know how we ended up over there or who told us about it. But we were walking around, and I'm pretty sure we had seen him because there was several stars there, but they were all so packed and just so busy with everybody. And on another one of those ones where we came around, his desk was clear. He had just finished doing everything he was doing. He was there with his agent, and I just yelled at him. I said, Vern, mini-me, love you, man. And he looked up, and he yelled at me. He goes, hey, come here. And I was like, I told my wife, Donna, he's calling me. He's calling me. So,
he's summoned by mini-me.
Yeah, mini-me.
I have to go.
And we went over there, and we must have talked for a good 10, 15 minutes. He was asking me about the character, and I was telling him the same story about the Renaissance thing. And he had his agent take pictures of me and him, and Donna got one picture of us. I said, maybe you should have let the cameras roll or something.
It all goes so quickly.
I know, it does.
You're watching it and you don't want to miss anything, so you forget.
And it was an amazing experience because, it's, I guess you stay starstruck, and heck, you just get giddy.
Yeah.
And it's funny to say that, but I was like, I don't even know exactly. And I never took my mask off. I never took my mask off to talk to him. So I'm talking to him through this layers all there on my face. But we're having a good conversation. In fact, some people see the picture, they're like, he looks terrified of you. And so it's like, well, it was an amazing time. We just talked and talked. And I know one of the things he said to me, I can't say exactly what he says because I know I don't, but
don't want to get kicked
yeah,
out.
yeah, don't want to say anything too bad out there. But he goes, that's the most, to put his words, most awesome suit that he'd ever seen at all the events he'd been at, and that I should think about taking this character to the next level. And when he told me that, this is when you get a word like that, some people may blow it off, some people might not even think about it, but it totally encouraged me. And that's why, I believe when you get around people, that are really, you never know who your words are going to affect in life. And, whether negative or bad, because, there's so much negative in this world already going on that it's really hard to find that one encouraging word, from an individual or person that you might, especially when you look up to them or they're famous, they have a platform already. And so when he told me that, I really took it to heart. And it's funny because I know the representation of today's superheroes, although in the movies right now, I'm nowhere near that.
So tell me about him. Tell me about Wolfsbane. Like what?
Oh my gosh! Because you got me. I'm a little nervous right now being here with you, Richard.
I know all the people watching and this big crowd.
It's awesome, but. When I started writing the story, it included a lot of, and it sounds crazy, but a lot of the storyline is really life stories that happened to us and to me, to our family and so forth. The way he got his powers, you'll see in part one, and you see it in the trailer when he has that UFO experience back in the, I want to say mid-90s, with my late first wife. Her brother wanted to go hog hunting one night. And I didn't want to go for the life of me, but he begged me, and we went. Long story short, we had one of the craziest UFO experiences. I know that word is so cliche now, but it was a crazy experience, and it was really close. And I said, why not add that to the book and add it to everything that's going to pertain to the character, part of my faith. There's hidden parts of my faith in the characters and stuff like that, and that's where I picked up a lot of the storyline for Wolfsbane, and then of course a lot of the alter egos, a lot of my beliefs and stuff like that, personal beliefs. Add all that into the book, and you end up coming up with a pretty crazy story. And I like part two. My daughter inspired a female character. I had already written part two, and it did not include Ricta, which we're introducing to Texas, and she's the first female Texas superhero. And
we need to get her on the show.
And oh yeah, that's good. You'll have to, that's like pulling teeth. She is so shy, but that's why actually she didn't want to come out in the film and stuff like that. God bless her. And she just she did a couple of cons, and she just gets real nervous around people wanting to be around and do photos and all that. And but we use her life story of her character, of losing her mom from a young age to cancer, and her character, we don't say why in this book, but she has the power to manipulate the power of the earthquake, and so we're not mentioning why or how she got that power, but she's using that now to track down a doctor that there's rumor that he holds the cure for all major diseases. So part two is taking place. We got the storyline happening in the Houston Medical Center in Houston, because I spent 2 years there with their mom before she passed, and at the MD Anderson there. So we're using that Houston, the main medical center that this doctor works at, and that's where we cross paths in part two, because she's chasing him down unknowingly that he actually works under my main nemesis. So we're tying all this in together, and it's really just a lot of our life story, and then just taking it to the next level with characters. And part two also, we're bringing in La Llorona, I don't know if you're familiar with La Llorona. It's a South Texas legend.
I've only been here since September, so I know nothing. I barely know how to get to the grocery store.
Welcome to Texas. Welcome to South
4
Texas.
hours to get to the grocery store.
I hear you. But we're bringing her, and then I know characters like the Chupacabra. Those names, tied them into actual characters in the book who share their name, but they're actual just characters. Like the Llorona's a beautiful young woman. The Chupacabra's going to be this handsome guy, bad guy, of course. But we're going to bring these Southern legends in and their names, and just give them my Wolfsbane twist on things, and so that these names and characters will become refreshing, as a word to say, in the comic book world, and bring them back to life. Because there's a lot of people who've never heard of them and stuff like that, and. So we want to bring all this culture in, these Southern legends and stuff like that, and tie them into the book, and hopefully have people, say, hey, you know what, I've heard about it. I remember we grew up when we were little, especially the older generation, my age or even older, who were buying the books and stuff like that. So we're hoping to just broaden the horizon of the comic book world, and then just make it for people who go to comic book stores, but maybe someone who hasn't picked up a comic since they were little, and now they're middle aged like myself, and they're like, hey, I want one. And I have a lot of people my age and older that buy the book, and they want the book, and they of course get them for their kids, and it's opened up such a whole new world, and especially to meet you.
Well, I mean, that's just how it all comes together.
And we appreciate you from the bottom of our hearts for making the time to invite us over and make us a part of what you're doing that is going big as well, and we appreciate you from the bottom of our hearts.
Well, like what you were saying before about you never know who you're going to meet or what they're going to say or how that's going to affect you.
Definitely.
That's what I love about doing the shows. I meet so many cool people that I never would have met walking down the street, and it's interesting how you remember each one and how they affect you.
Oh, definitely.
How can people support this film and everything? You have a website,
We do have a
wolfbanetx.com.
Yes,
I don't know if you're
Wolfsbane
gonna see this
STX. WolfsbaneSTX.com.
Oh, that's what I meant.
And
That's
we
great.
haven't updated it with a lot of things here recently. I know we've dropped the prices on some of the things. I haven't had the chance to get in there and change it up. But you're more than welcome. The website you can email me through the website. It'll take you to my Facebook. It'll take you to my Instagram. Following us is the biggest, one of the biggest ways to support us. Sharing this newly released trailer is an amazing way to support us, and so that they can get out there and get the attention of all of Texas, of all the world. And as you know, it was picked as a finalist for Best Trailer in the UK. And I think that's amazing. That was a great way to end and start the new year.
Does that even register in how do you even go, oh well yeah, of course it's a finalist in the UK.
No, I was like, and I still, when I talk about it, I'm like, wait a minute. They got this trailer that we just released a few weeks ago here at No Sleep Films, Wolfsbane, and it's in the UK saying, hey, this guy could take best trailer here at this film festival, and I'm like, well, I mean, what can you say to that except smile ear to ear? Yeah. Especially when you're this is just brand new to me, and to my wife and to my family, and we're gonna have to really step it up for this year. That's it, because last year was such a great year. All the shows, all the Comic-Cons and book signings, the meet and greets, and I said, let's triple it this year, and then this will land the movie and eventually land the right contracts and the nice money to take a great vacation.
And then don't forget me. Come back and hang out in my bedroom again.
Yes.
When it's a real movie out there.
Definitely.
Go support this film. Check out their website. Congratulations.
Thank you, Richard,
Thank
for
you for
having
being
me.
here.
No, thank you for having me. We appreciate you.
Thanks for stopping by.
South Texas. Peace.
Make your day richer than it was before. Got some good times knocking upon your front door. It's the Richard Wilmore Show.